how's there? Oh my gosh. Oh, that is too distracting. How do I bring down the similarity? My shirt is so high up. Oh no. We're gonna look at the similarity here for a moment. I wonder if I can make it do it. If I can change the similarity. So that's what it's called. We're gonna do a quick. Let me look at the similarity on this. I think it's not. There's the color correction. I'm gonna go to the screen. What's up, Brayden? Good to see you here. You're probably not gonna be able to hear me for a second. I'm gonna look at the similarity. Depends when you wear yellow text. It's like light yellow. It's a little bit off from that. I gotta try the similarity hard to make this work. So we might get some. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. What do we? It might look better. I don't know. Similarity is so iffy. So iffy. My shirt's just gonna do weird things now. I don't see the little sparkles. Hard to see. It's not that bad. Cool. Little distracting. Maybe when I'm in the corner here. Let's get some My Pearson up. You ready to do some My Pearson? My Pearson. Working on that similarity on my shirt. Because you don't wear green when you do a green screen. Everyone knows you don't wear green or things that are close to green, like some blues and some yellows. Sure. Chapter 5, part 2 quiz. Yeah, post a question on Discord. Let me take a look at that. I will go take a look. Let's go take a look at that. We got the similarity fixed up. Calculating the yards one, the receiver yard one. Yeah, let's do the receivers with the yards. You got it. You got it. Let's go check that out. And she just wear a green suit. Yeah, then your just head floats. See, now it looks great. You never know. And then, so you can see the green around me. It's where it's called spill. Well, I guess it is, yeah, because the light bounces off me, and there's all these technical terms. We're loading up the quiz right here in the background. Talk about some more questions if you got them. We're going to do the NFL question here. Getting a Word document loaded up now. I think I got 16% right based on the curve. Yeah, the drawing. Nice job. I got some drawings here. I'm going to take a screenshot. We'll be starting this in about 30 seconds. Where's my Microsoft Word at? There's Word. Here we go. 68, 95, 99. Do I still have the drawings from yesterday? I'm trying to find them. What? Well, that's a huge thing. Don't save. Don't save. Don't save. That is ridiculous. Okay. All these. Why are all these going off the edge of the screen? Okay. Well, I'm just gonna don't save all these once I go off the screen. Okay, let's get started here on this first question. It's about time. Let's go find it. We're doing the NFL question first about yards received, and here it is. So let's mark it in the video. And so what we're saying in the chat, you probably heard us say, you want to make sure you draw it out. Now, I can't state this enough. I fear a lot of people think, whatever. I don't need to draw this out. I got it memorized. Hey, more power to you if you got it memorized. But it's a lot easier to look at these answers and understand via a drawing what the answer is. So we're gonna go grab empirical rule. Graphic over here, grabbing a really good empirical rule graphic. This one might be pretty good. Try to find a real purty one right here. Ooh, this one's real purty. And we'll copy that image. We'll go back here to Word. We'll hit Control N. We'll drop in a graphic. This is the one yet. Okay, we're gonna screenshot this. It doesn't let you, I'm gonna screenshot the screenshot. Inception. Okay, there we go. It's gonna have a little picture thing on it. There we go. All right, drop in. Now we got it. I tried to do it yesterday and this one wouldn't take. So this is about what you want to have drawn when you start doing your test. As in, you don't bring it to the test. You can't have notes for the test, but you can do drawings when the test starts. We can't stop you from being like, I got a scratch sheet of paper here. I'm going to draw this out. 68, 95, 99.7. Now, there's other things I would add to this. So we're going to do our classic, what we would do. If we have a test, I would start writing this. You got your 68, 95, 99.7. And then, of course, I'm going to draw some arrows here. So I want you to tell me how much are these arrows worth individually. It's a purple pen. Something weird going on here today. Okay. Well, what? Paint in here? Oh, ghost. What's going on here? There's something weird going on. It's a white pen. Okay, now the screen's frozen. Now it's moving around. I don't like that. What's going on? Now Word just crashed. I don't like this. There we go. I'm sorry I took your screenshot. Okay. You're gonna go away bottom? Okay. Now that that's craziness is over, we're gonna go here to draw on the graphic. We're gonna click this pen that's not haunted, and we're gonna go right here and do the following, and it's gonna stay, and we did it. How much are those arrows worth? This is what you should practice. Remember, we're not just solving this question, we're solving all the questions. So how much is that arrow, either of these arrows worth right here? Not, you can tell me the 16%, great job, Noel, right there. And we got 16% because it's half of 32, 68 inside, 32 outside, cut that in half. Once again, if you're watching, 68 inside, outside is 32 because you subtract from 100, and then you cut it in half to get 16. Next, we go right here, and we do these. How much are these worth? What are those? What are those right there? 2.5, you're right. What was that?
Another one.
Oh, we got one more. So down here, last one, basically the answer shown to us. 99.7 inside, how much total outside? Cut that in half. Because if you have 99.7 total inside and you got it, Noel, you've got the answers, 0.15. Now what you'll notice is that the numbers here are the what's of these numbers. Like if you look at these numbers, and then you look at this number right here, you can do it over here too. So what do you notice? It's the distance between, the difference between them. So when you think about 16 to 2.5, there's 13.5 that you would go through right there. And then how in the world do you get these 34s? The 0.15s are just the area completely over to the side. How do you get those 34s though? Where does 34 come from? Between 0 and 1 and 0 and -1. And we'll be using this graphic here throughout today's practice to make sure we have it down. Half of 68. Great job, Noel. We haven't thrown any Mu-Bucks today. There you go. We got some. So now we've got a really good drawing that's going to help us solve a lot of these questions. And you can't bring this to the test, but we can't stop you from writing it down on your scratch sheet of paper. So we're going to go back here to the question, see what it asks us first. According to the normal model, what percent of receivers would you expect to get more than one standard deviation above the mean? And literally, this is the perfect drawing for it. Because when you go to one standard deviation above the mean, it literally says that right here, the mean plus one standard deviation, and it wants how much of the curve is this. So how much of the curve is that? Just literally drawn out for us, and the answer is pretty much on the screen. It's 16%. Great job, Noel. So now we go over here, and we enter in the 16%, which it just asked us to tell it, because 68, 32, cut it in half, 16. Now it says, well, what does this mean if 16% are going to get more than one standard deviation above the mean? So I like to ask it this way. Let's say we have 2,000 Stat 201 students a year. 16% of them are going to get a scholarship from Stat 201. I wish. How many of them would get a scholarship? Try to solve that right now. If we have 2,000 Stat 201 students and 16% of them are going to get a scholarship, see if you can do the math. Because that's what this question's asking. It says if you have X amount of things and 16% are going to have something happen, you got it. We're just going to times it by 16%, and that's the amount. So we're going to do the same sort of idea right over here to the amount of receivers. Notice that there's 508. Great job, Noel and Braden right there. There's 508 receivers. Really? There's some NFL stuff. Random. 508 receivers. We times by 16%, and there's the answer. It says to round to the nearest number, so we're just going to delete right here and round down to 81 because 81 is closer than 82. So, oh, wait. That's where we put the 81. The yards is 1 standard deviation above the mean. So how am I going to find that? If this is the mean and this is the standard deviation, how would I find what 1 standard deviation above the mean is? And once again, great job right here. And these are questions we should know how to do pretty easily. Don't worry if you don't, but it just takes practice. Be like, oh, they're asking 1 standard deviation above the mean. Where is that? And you can see it visually right here. Exactly. Just go to the mean and add 1 standard deviation. So mean plus 1 standard deviation, the answer is right there. And especially if we know that this is the mean mu. Great job, Noel and Braden. I feel like you got this down. Chapter 5, one of my favorites. It's like if you get it down, it's not that bad. People are like, oh, that'd be a tougher chapter. I say, it's not. I mean, it's tough. You don't know how to do it. And so now the thing is we only use the empirical rule, the 68, 95, 99.7 when data is what? Not that. We only use the 68, 95, 99.7 rule when data is what? Really good practice here, everyone. So the question is we would add another, yeah, if it's two, then you go up 2 standard deviations. And Braden's right there, you only do it when data is normal. If it said what is 2 standard deviations above 2 standard deviations is 2.5% of the data, and then you would add 2 standard deviations. This is right to the high, left to the low, as in this is right to the high skew. Monster min tail is on the right side, high side of the data, and if it was 2 standard deviations, you'd go mean plus standard deviation plus standard deviation, and above 2 standard deviations is 2.5% of the data. You'd be over here, and that's where you'd be over there on that side of the curve, and there would be 2.5% above that. So good questions and answers in the chat. We're going to do another one coming up here, so get those questions ready because we're almost done with this. The data is not unimodal symmetric, and so it's right skewed. That is not appropriate. It's not normal, 100%. What's the next one? Surely people got more questions. Surely. It's like, Shirley, are you here? I feel like my watch is a little tight today. I'll go down to, man, I found my watch. It doesn't have battery in it, but is there any way you could show me how to put the data in the pivot chart? Yeah, we could do a little data on X3. It's got 4. Let's go do that. We are going to be doing that during class today, but it's never too soon to start. So let's go ahead and get the data going right here. And a good thing about this too, and we do have the visualization playlist. I'm going to pin that. You can always check out the visualization playlist under visual right there. And a good thing to have bookmarked, but we're going to do some of the work right here and talk through it a little bit. Probably do a review today. Maybe do some hard question reviews. Pivot is not that long of a chapter, and it's mainly an assignment. Now let's do it, because here's the thing, not everyone attends our class, so I bet you someone is watching this in the future like, oh, he's doing the pivot chart, because that's due tonight, isn't it? So we're going to be doing it in class too. So in case people miss it, or don't come to class, come to class. We'll do it right now. We don't spend a ton of time on it, but we can do it right now. Ooh, now. Let's get it going. Yeah, it's a good time to go over it. And then when we're in class, you can be like, I know how to do this. I got this down. I'm getting loaded up here in the background. A very timely question. It'll be handsy and answer. Okay. We're talking about how to ace assignment number 4. Where is my notes? Scene 23. Stat 201. Data analytics. 4. Pivot charts. Let's go do it. Here we go. Okay, so here's what I ask of you whenever you do a data analytics assignment or the project. Scroll down to the instructions first. Notice you need to put your name, all this good stuff right here, which you can see right here. So you just copy paste this, you go to a new Word document, and you got yourself, I think it's 1 point this time, but make sure to fill it out. So you'll fill out this information right here, worth 1 point, and I would go through just step by step to see what I need and make sure I'm doing it right with the visualization format, the write-up, pivot chart write-up right here. So be very careful. There's mistakes that can be made. Notice how it has a very long description of what you should be doing here, and where you can see where you can lose points. And additionally, right here, write-up is in complete sentences. Don't do bullet points. The write-up of the pivot chart is accurate and includes the numeric information from the chart. You need to give numeric information. Don't just say like, this looks higher than this looks higher than this. You need to give numeric information, and then you need to have a good, clean visualization and all this good stuff right here. So let's go ahead, and I'm probably going to grab some Pokemon data. Your data is this data in Excel right here. So I need to get, do I have a Pokemon Excel data set? I never like working with your guys' data. I thought I had Pokemon XLSX. Or Pokemon CSV, I got that. Yeah, Pokemon CSV. CSV opens in Excel. I'm opening up the Pokemon data right here as we get started, and I think it has just enough for me to do it. Okay. Bringing this down to the main screen. Here we go. Pokemon data on the screen. Pokemon data go. So with this right here, I have enough information, and my graphics might look a little bit interesting. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to only make 3 generations. I'm going to go here. I'm going to only go through Gen 3 because it's going to look a little crazy if I don't. Delete. Okay, cool. So I am kind of working with my data right here for a moment because I have in mind what I want to do, and you'll be seeing something very similar to what you're doing. I just don't want to use your data because I don't want anyone to do the exact graph, because you can't do this graphic I'm about to do. So I'm making it so I can do exactly what you're doing, and you'll see the steps and understand what is required of you, because my data is going to have the requirements now, and it won't look like a mess. Okay, so here we are. I now can do something that'll look pretty good. To make a pivot chart, you want to hit Control A inside of your table. Control A will select all the data. Now go to Insert and Pivot Table. We're going to do that first. Pivot Table, I always put it in a new worksheet. So go ahead and click OK. Remember, you can't always pause these videos, stop these videos, rewind these videos. Select all the data first, Control A or Command A on a Mac, Insert, Pivot Table, Mac and PC, new worksheet. So we get this kind of blank area right over here where we can do some of the work. What we want to do is we want to take the variables of interest to us, but there are requirements for this assignment. Let's go look at the requirements. Once again, you're using this Survey 1222 data, and you want to make sure you go through the documentation on it, maybe look at it, see what the variables look like. Here you can go, you can see it has details, gender, year, weight, born in Tennessee, relation status, social media, main use, all these different things, the types of variables you have. That's going to tell you what you're using. Include this at the top of your document, and then we get to our pivot chart. You must have one categorical variable in the rows and one categorical variable in the columns. You must have a quantitative variable in the values, and you must be displaying its average. Be careful, but not all columns may need data filtering. So let's talk about where you can run into problems. First off, you need to make sure you pick a quantitative variable to put in values. Quantitative variables are things like hit points. You can see it over here. You see this is quantitative, categorical. I made it that way. And you can see categorical, kind of identifier, actual identifier, categorical. So we're going to pick the attack power of a Pokemon and put it right here. We're just dragging and dropping. Your first task right now is to put a quantitative variable over here. Now, it'll be a little eye circle on the Mac, a little drop-down menu on the PC, but we want to go to what's called the value field setting. The values field setting is the setting for the value field, because this is the value field and this is what does its setting. Right now, it's displaying the sum of all the attacks of every Pokemon. we don't want the sum of the attack. We want to go here to average attack. So value field setting, and then over here, click average and click OK. Now this looks a bit ridiculous. So at this point, we're going to click it and delete decimals. I'm going to 2 decimals, and this is preference, but if you're doing something like money, 2 decimals is probably the best idea. Unless it's like salaries, then you could probably go to the nearest dollar because it's in probably not tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. But it all depends, but you never really want to include crazy amounts of decimals unless someone says to, and then you do it. But round your decimals appropriately. That is done easiest here by clicking the one cell that exists inside the pivot table and then either adding or removing decimals right up there found under the Home tab on Excel. So now that we have our variable in an average and we have it displayed properly, we're going to pick 2 categorical variables. Now, once again, you don't have the variables I have, so you can't do exactly what I'm doing. But remember, looking back at your data over here, you can see what is categorical and what is not. Now, here's where you don't want it to run into issues. If you pick something like this right here, you've got a mess. This is too much. When you display this, it's going to be crazy. You don't want that. So start over. Remove these things right here. Don't have it look like that. That's why I made for what I want to do today an easier variable. I know, right, Raptor? Raptor, just that reaction will throw you some points. No. It doesn't matter. Rock's all mad about it. He's screaming over there in the corner. So we're going to drop legendary right here into the row. Whether or not a Pokemon's a legendary, you can see the average attack power of a legendary Pokemon is higher. And then we can actually look at it over generation, which is kind of neat. Ooh, and what I'm going to do here, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it, is if you click here on this and you grab this little crosshair, you can actually drag and move over. And you see that Gen 2 has the weakest attack power Pokemon, and the legendary are weaker. Gen 3 has the strongest Pokemon that are non-legendary, and they're pretty in line with Gen 1 attack power Pokemon. So the big differences here look to be between the legendary down here, non-legendary Pokemon, and small differences between generations. But Gen 2, attack power Gen 2, they're not that strong. Sorry, it's the dogs, right? It's Arcanine, you got Zapdos in Gen 1, Mewtwo, Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, and then I should know the dogs. Sequin, I don't know, just Water Dog. You know what I'm talking about. You know Pokemon. I lost my Pokemon. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in a pivot chart. To add in a pivot chart, put a comment down below with your favorite Pokemon. If you're watching this now, I want you to comment, and I want you to put your favorite Pokemon in the comments of this video. You're watching this in the future. Favorite Pokemon in the comments. Make me smile. Better be Charmander. So with this right here, we're going to go to Pivot Table Analyze, and we're going to go to Pivot Chart. So with Pivot Chart right here, it's going to include the pivot chart, and this is what you're going to be taking a picture of. It's going to choose one by default, usually does pretty good, picks a good one, and we're good to go right here. Pivot chart has been added in. I'm going to zoom out. I'm holding control and on my scroll wheel, scrolling out. It's just one way to do it. And I'm going to move this over to the side. Truthfully, you never need to look at this again if you have everything correctly formatted. We are not taking a picture of this. What is wrong with this screenshot right here? Someone in the chat tell me right now, and we're not done, but what is wrong with this screenshot? What is wrong with this screenshot? This is a reminder when you're going to take your screenshot later, what is wrong with this screenshot? Who knows in the chat? Let's ask. Something wrong with this. There's multiple things wrong with it right now, which we're going to fix up. But there's something, too much empty space is true. Raptor will throw you some points. But what's crazy is we will not include this table, and you'll see why more later, but you don't include this table. Too much empty space, and we won't include the pivot table. You'll see why in just a moment. The reason is because we can add the pivot table to the chart so they can just get all the information right there. To do that, we're going to click the chart, and I'm going to do it via quick format by going here to design and then go down to quick layout. And this is my favorite, quick layout. Exactly, because we're going to add a table with the numbers right below it. So you don't need double information. So I've added this down below. Now, what I will say is sometimes there's a blank. If you see blank down here, which I don't, so I don't have where it says blank, and if you're wondering if you have blank and you don't see it says blank, then you don't have it. Sometimes it happens more on Macs, I see, but if you see blank, you want to click here and unselect blank. That's a filter for you to use. If you don't see blank, like I don't, you're not running into that problem, so don't worry. So now notice we have almost everything we need. Pivot charts can have additional elements added to them. On the PC, you have this plus icon right here to add and subtract them, but both the Mac and the PC, when you click on the pivot chart under design, have add chart elements here. So I try to focus in on that one because it's there for the Mac and the PC. Why do they make a difference? It matters! It does matter. So with this right here, what we're going to do is we're going to add in an axis title to the primary horizontal. And we're going to label that axis right there for what it is. So we'll click right there, and we've got it. I'm going to little stretch and pull this right here till it looks the way I want it to. You can actually flip your variables. I think I'm going to flip them right here. I kind of like this better because now right here we've got generation. And so I'm going to go right here to the bottom and write generation. Just double click. Generation right there. And I'm going to also double click. And actually, I think I can just be in this menu. Yeah. I'm going to go font bigger. And then I'm going to pull this down a little bit right there. And then I'm going to bold it. Bold. Generation. There we go. And keep it nice and center. There we go. Then over here, we're going to say AV dot attack. And then we're going to do the same thing. We could probably go for the same font or just try to eyeball it. There we go. And then we go right here and we write average attack power by generation and legendary status. Created by, and then your name. Put your name there. Like everyone's going to put Brian Stevens, and then if I put Brian Stevens on it, they'll put all of that. You can also now click the bars, and this is just preference stuff. Maybe we want the legendaries to be like a cool purple. And then the non-legendaries right here. Wait, we could go red. Pokemon's like red and white. That's not going to work, though. Like an off-white right there. It is a little hard to see. I think we can do an outline. The outline's going to help it. And you can go to a thickness, weight on the outline. This is all just preference. This is not required. This is, yeah, but I kind of like it. Outline and then thickness on the outline. Did that not do? This is all preference. There's no right answer to this. Outline. Blue. There we go. That looks pretty good, right? That's Pokemon themed color. I got my clicker on me. Is that looks like the Pokemon clicker. Look at this right there. Pokemon theme. Sorry, so on the pivot chart there is filters, legendary, yes, legend. Well, so you need to put in the rows and the columns, categorical variables. You don't have to filter anything if you don't have the blanks. That's only where you run into problems. It just happens to people rarely that they get blank on here. I don't know why it occurs, but sometimes Macs and PCs, mostly Macs, have a problem. You need to have the average of a quantitative variable in here, and your chart should end up looking something like this. You should see down here the differences between the groups, as in generation 1, non-legendary to legendary, generation 2, non-legendary to legendary, generation 3, non-legendary to legendary, and then you should be able to take a picture of it, and the picture should look nice and neat. Any questions on this right here? There's our picture, nice and neat picture. And can I backwards in time this, or can I control Y it? Well, there we go. I just want you to see the huge difference in graphic right here between what we did previously and what we have now. This is the difference between a C and an A. So we don't need, you don't need to do any of the fill stuff. That's all preference. What you will be great on, I'll highlight what you'll be great on. Thank you so much, Noel. Good questions right there. That was all preference. That was all preference. Can't lose our title. Ooh. So if you look at this right here, oh man, it's losing it. I don't know. We might have to just go no border. You don't want your border to delete part of your graphic. It's too thick. That's good. That's great. Okay. So look at the difference between this graphic right here and this graphic right here is what we get. Don't worry, it happens a lot. There's no table, there's no titles, there's no axis titles. This is where the student would lose points. If you were to turn in this right here, the grader would say you shouldn't have this table. You got white space everywhere. That's problems. You do not have an axis title. You do not have a data table. You do not have an axis title. You do not have a chart title. Does everyone understand right here where the points are going to be just, you're going to lose points everywhere on this? And you might say, well, this is the data table, but we want the data table down here. So that's a pivot table, not a data table. The point is not just to get the information, but to put it in a easy to read format. Think about how much easier this is for someone to understand in a presentation versus this right here, which looks like you're just throwing around data. So once again, the key is that you make a graphic that looks like this, nice and pretty right here, and all the other things like I did with the so all those like fills and stuff by clicking the bar, I'm right clicking it. This is just preference. So feel free to do some, do some cool stuff. Make your graphic look nice. And be careful though, you do not want, if you see a graphic that looks like this right here, and I can't tell you how many graphics we get that look like this. Oh my gosh, we get so many. Oh my god. So this is where you picked a variable that has way too many levels. And also you might do this right here, crop your screenshot. So we're kind of talking about the common mistakes right now. That is the A+ right there. You want that graphic. This graphic right here, you need to pick different categorical variables. So if you get this right here, this is not a good graphic to turn in. Pick a categorical variable with less levels, or also filter out. To filter out categorical variable levels, you could go over here and go to the drop down and select only a few. There we go. And then go to the drop down here and select only a few. It's not going to look so... Yeah, it didn't have enough. That one I'd have to work with a bit. Hey, bro, what's up, Evan? Will you look at your app? Yeah. Do you want me to display it on screen, or you could send it to me? Evan, great work. Yes, send it to me. I might not, because I won't show it here because it's for the assignment, right? Yes, send it to me, and I'll take a look at it today because I've got time between classes. Would it be possible to go to the key points to remember for the pivot charts? Definitely. So the thing we want you to know, especially for pivot charts, is a lot of times that pivot charts can analyze categorical and quantitative data. So pivot charts right here can analyze categorical or quantitative data. All your data has to be formatted correctly. It all has to have the same, like if it's legendary, true, 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 false, false, false. I'm trying to think what else is major on the test. Maybe I'll pull up the test question bank on it. It's not that many questions on the test on it. That's why I wait to do the chapters. It's an easier chapter, and I feel like sometimes feel stress about it, and I'm like, it's not bad. We used to do a few pivot. Where's the pivot questions? Trying to find it. PVT. There's one multiple choice bank, and there's one true false bank. Unless I miss, oh, there's more banks. Where's those other banks? It's showing me that there's more banks, but I don't see them. And then one of them asks you to like put, like, where would you put this variable? Yeah, that should be kind of obvious. Yeah, let me view the answers. Yeah, it should be, those are the two hardest, but yeah. I'll definitely kind of mention these. Thank you, Evan, so much. Since, yeah, okay, let's do that. Since we'll do that, we're gonna switch modes here. Thank you, Evan. As long as you say I can display it. So Evan, I do have your permission to display it, right? I can display your app on screen and give you advice, right? I have permission to do that. Type a yes in the chat, and you've also probably emailed or Discord. Okay. Thank you, Evan, right there. All right, let's not show the code. Let's show how an app works. Permission granted. Okay, good. I need very much. And yeah, if you sent it to me, then, and you say you have permission to show it, then I have permission. Okay, BAS 320, making shiny apps. Ooh, I'm excited. You literally yesterday, Evan, blew me away. I thought Jake had I thought he had ran away from everybody, but you said, I'm gonna sprint. You're like, I'm gonna sprint and just bolt by him. I was like, you sprinted. You, woo! Fast run. I was very impressed. Thank you, Evan, for swinging by. We don't get a lot of 320, but I'm always glad to do some 320. So then my understanding, the Survey 22 document already has the separated categories for us to use. Correct. So Survey 22 already has the variables in there, so you can use whatever variables you want. I was very impressed by Jake. I was very impressed by everyone. Shivani, you name it. So many people in there were doing impressive things. So really great job. Okay, I'm gonna try to load it right here. I think I have all the packages. I don't have shiny widgets. I thought I loaded that yesterday. Shiny widgets is a cool thing. Thank you to Kayla, who showed me shiny widgets forever ago. I think it came out the semester I was teaching in like 2021. She was like, there's this new package called shiny widgets. And then we tried to work with shiny widgets and we got some new things going. So I've been there since, I think it's working. Whoa, dude, you've already blown me away. Let's go check it out. Okay, so I'm already, Evan, dude, already, wow. Already, wow. So what I've been asking 320 to do right here is to, if you're working with a company, people might not know how to work with data. And we want to give them something they could work with so that they can understand how to work with the data. So I hit explore more, I see what happens. Oh yeah, I'd maybe change the text here to a white text. So right here, make your text white. So you got your HTML color codes. That might be a black text. I always forget FFFFFF. If that's black or white, change that to white. UTK, these are all minor suggestions. I'm already blown away. These are just suggestions. Take up more space with UTK and put University of TN Knoxville. And as long as you're not, and as long as you're not like work on your other classes, this is already looking great. Like, put it this way, and I mean this is one of the best apps I've seen so far. I'm waiting to see the next things. I love that you use the emojis right there, or the icons. They're icons instead of dashboards. You know all that probably. It's nice and easy. Just type the name of the icon. You look through an icon list, change the icon. I would change this to University of TN Knoxville, and if you can, throw the image over here. But don't worry, this is all just preference stuff. That's the home screen. Cool. Data visualize. Yes. This is a pretty good mosaic plot, and I like this right here, how you have it. We need the analysis though. Scatter plots, okay. Box plots, okay. And there's the data tables coming soon. Explore more. So add the analysis down here and have the analysis be interactive. And so here's this is looking really great. Looking really great. So here's all my suggestions. And this one, I love the usability of this. Like, it needs a little more stats, the usability. So we want it to be dynamic. So this is good down here, like the explanation of it, but the analysis should be dynamic so that it's over here in the corner, and that like if you're doing it via ChatGPT, you want to tell it to do something like run Spearman versus Pearson correlation on this right here. Like come up with the metrics of Spearman and Pearson correlation and add it to the corner over here. And then for box plots, run an analysis of difference between means and medians, and then add the analysis over here, like do an analysis of means and medians, add it to the left. You can also tell it to put these in boxes, I think. That'll put like, I think they're called boxes, but no, the Evan is looking great. Like this is A+ on presentation. We're gonna add a little more stats to it though. I'd add a little more, so you want the analysis of means versus medians with p-values for this. Maybe even a table of the medians and means to compare them so we can see the difference. And then over here, you want the values of correlation. The data set looks limited. I'm trying to see what it's pulling from, because this doesn't look like the Survey 10 data. I might have to send you, it might be doing a fake data set. I've seen that where with ChatGPT and stuff, it comes up with fake data. So I might need to check your data and see if it's using real Survey 10 data. And then the mosaic plot right here, this package right here, I'm probably gonna have to look at the code. This, it should be, I think it's doing fake data there. I'm gonna look at the, one second, I'm gonna look at the code. I'm gonna see what it's pulling on the data. Yeah, it's making fake data. I'll show you. I think I can show that. Are you fine, Evan, yes or no? Yeah, Evan made that. Evan made this whole thing. You should see what they made yesterday. Evan, can I show a little bit of your code right here? I'll show you where it's making fake data, and I'll show you how to fix this. Okay. Here's where it's making fake data on you. This is where it's making fake data. So it does have a lot of our variables. So I think ChatGPT saw the structure you wanted. So what we're gonna do right here is we're gonna go to the very start of this and go to data, survey 10, but we gotta go library reg class. So you can do these corrections too. There's library reg class. And then we're gonna go here and go data survey 10. And then we overwrote that survey 10, and we could even Control-Shift-C. You can also just delete that. You can keep it if you want. And then there's the color codes Evan's using. I don't think I don't even know what boot swatch is. A modern sleek theme. So that's a theme right there. I didn't even know that. I'm gonna run all your code again, and you can see now it should load unexpected. Oh, don't add that parentheses I added by accident. Okay, now data visualization, yes, and it's doing something weird. Oh, because it's numbody. Okay, so this is a multivariate mosaic plot. It has 3 variables inside of it. We don't want a 3 variable mosaic plot. So if you're taking notes, I know it really does. A plus, ooh, that's the scatter plot we're looking for. That's the scatter plot. Here's the box plots. There we go. Maybe try to make the backgrounds white on these so they pop a little more. But the data tables, explore more. Yeah, this is looking so cool. Like the homepage, I really like. No, this, when it comes to like, imagine a company gets this right here and everything, they'd say that's pretty cool. You don't have to have data tables. This is the main part you're being graded on. The main thing you're being graded on here is the analysis. And here, I'm going to try this real quick. I'm going to take your file. Do I have your permission to send it through an AI? You can say no to anything I ask. Do I have your permission? Once again, feel free to say no. I'm going to send it through UTverse. Okay, good. And we're going to go in here to UTverse. I can show the screen still. You said I can show this part of the code. I'm logging into UTverse. I'm going to go here. What is damn? Oh, that's the shit code. Let me go over here. I'm going to paste code. I'm going to save it on my computer. File save as. I'm going to see if what I can do with a prompt. And I'm going to call it Evan code. I'm going to save it on my computer. Documents. And really, everyone give Evan some W's. We're going to give 1,000 points to Evan and everyone here. So give Evan some W's in the chat, because this is some really good stuff right here. Very, very proud. And Evan code, brain throwing some W's. Okay, and then I'm going to say, take this Shiny app and make it so it does analysis for the scatter plot, finding Pearson and Spearman correlation. Additionally, add analysis of means versus medians when box plots is selected. Also add analysis of the chi-squared for the mosaic plot. These are things we'll be learning in 201. And make sure all the outputs are in boxes. What else did I say? I might do it. I don't want it to change too much. I don't want it to change your themes. Usually I say make it look cooler, but I don't want to tell it that because I think it looks cooler. It is currently compiling the code right here. I don't think you can see the code compile. There we go. Here we go. So yeah, if you want to sit down and copy all this code right here, and hopefully it doesn't break, you want to sit down, you want to write all this code, more power to you. I think you'll learn. They just break. They just break. UTverse. About to log into the prototype UTverse. I gotta tell them this. I gotta tell them we keep having this error. I'm reloading the UTverse. AI changes my themes every time We're gonna see if UTverse is still breaking on me. I'm gonna go to prototype UTverse. Oh, I think I can show that online, right? They have a prototype of it. It literally redo that output, but this time don't break, and give it all in one chunk. Okay. Bing GPT is surprisingly really good. Cool. I'll check that one out. We'll see. I said redo that output in one chunk, and this time don't break. I don't know why. I got to talk to Mark about that. You see, it just randomly does that, and then it breaks again. It'll break here in 3, 2, 1, break. I basically did it perfectly. Let me go to prototype UTverse. Let's try this. Prototype UTverse. Okay, UTverse beta. Logging into UTverse beta right now. Yeah, I can't upload. Oh wait, here's the upload here. I can't upload to the other one. Unexpected error. Hello, I have code. Yeah, it's like it gets mad and it's like I'm not gonna take all that code. Can I just do ChatGPT on this? Usually I'm logged into ChatGPT to do it. And I don't log in on this computer. Maybe I could. What if I log in and continue with Google? Okay. Let's log into ChatGPT. Okay. Here we go. So, okay. Go one moment. Okay. Let me go back to my millions of tabs. And let's go all the way back here. So I don't have to rewrite this. Let's go back to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, boom. Okay. Yeah, to implement your requested Pearson Spearman. Okay, it's redoing it. Okay, here we go. Once again, a lot of cool stuff right here. You've got your icons right there that you're doing, your action buttons, certain styles for them. And the success is the color. It's like a green versus red or things. There's where you're creating your different tabs. There is the output for the mosaic plot. Hey, GPT-07. What's up, Jake Paul? Jake Paul. What's up, Jake Paul? Right there. So if else, that's gonna. I think that's right there. It's choosing which plot to show. We got Jake Paul in the chat. Good luck in all your boxing matches, Jake Paul. Is that, yes, Jake who does that. Is it Lunchly they came out with? Less lead than Lunchables. So all the things. There we go. Okay, we got some code now. We got that class at FF820. FF8200. See you in class, Braden. We'll be there pretty soon. I got some snacks that I picked up. Let's go check this out right here. They'll never take my Lunchables. I don't care if they put all the... Don't eat lead. It's bad. Lunchables, why you do that? Oh, no, we're good. We're good. It's running. Okay. Okay. Didn't break. Okay, so it only has the data visualization tab right now. And you see it's getting mad. It's not doing the analysis. Okay, so I don't see, and it says error plot new has not been called. And so I'm gonna get really mad at ChatGPT here. And it's better if you have a conversation going with it if you've been doing it step by step. I'm gonna get really mad right here and say, I don't see the analysis anywhere. I need you to rethink everything. Listen to me. Just tell it the error. That's no fun. You're right. Let's see. Evan, you're probably right. I probably need to start a new thread after this. I'm gonna try this. Evan is probably right. I'm throwing Evan some points right there. Here is what I should see. 1. There should be a drop down menu on the, is it called visualization tab? Visualization tab that lets me select between the two visualizations. 2. There should be 2 drop-down menus that let me select the variables that interactively change what the app is selecting and displaying. There should be the proper analysis of these variables on the page so I can tell what the differences are and if they are statistically significant. Okay, I'm gonna use all my ChatGPT 4.0 or OIO 07. Let's see what this does. Having a little fun here while we finish up office hours. Memory update. Memory update. Memory update. I'm gonna reload the page. There was an error generating a response. I've noticed that more often. Whoa. Okay, now it did it. It paused. Okay. Ooh, someone got a soda. Okay, okay. So the UI output stuff, this is what is going to actively change the variables right here. So the UI output, that's going to reach into your data set and make it so your variables are interactive. So this is one thing I was talking about adding right here, Evan, is a drop-down menu. So that, does that make sense, Evan? Like I would have on it a drop-down menu that makes it so the variables are selectable via whatever you want. You pick a variable and then the app actively changes what the variable is. And that way you can analyze any data. And yeah, so it'll change the graphics based on the variables. You can also tell it like, for mosaic plots, only use categorical. For, for scatter plots, only use quantitative, because that's like all the app debugging then when you do that. So we'll see what happens here and how it looks. Basically, I don't want to do everything for you, but I want to kind of tell you like some ideas and show you what's possible and see if it works. Okay. Ooh. Okay, we got something now. We don't have our analysis. And the scatter plot is not properly making until we choose two quantitative variables, but that's a scatter plot. Then we want to probably tell it to add a line. We want it to the proper analysis box plots right here. So we want to go to like gender as the variable. And we usually want box plots like that. The colors, we could work on things like that. We could go to handedness, which has more levels. But now notice, what's it matter about handedness? Insufficient values in manual scale. 3 need to be only 2 provided. Oh, because there's a manual scale on the colors. So you probably entered in. It's all right. You probably entered in a manual scale to the colors. So scale colors manual or something. Scale colors, and here's the ggplot right here at the box plots. So what we do is we literally just put a hashtag before this. And once again, if you know where to go in code, you can sometimes fix things without ChatGPT, because now we have here the Y variable of interest. And we go gender and we put in weight, and now it's just doing the defaults. And now you go to handedness. You can also search these boxes by typing it in, which is really cool. And then you get the box plots now. Does that make sense, Evan, right there? So because I knew that error. I've seen a lot of errors in my day, a lot of errors. And since I knew it was trying to say like, hey, you're supplying 2 colors and we need 3, I can't do it. Yeah, so then I just went to your code and hashtagged out the scale fill manual with the 2 colors. So that way it can now do 3. It'll just do it whatever it chooses. It has like default colors it uses, which are kind of divergent from each other. But it's like that, you could just be doing that for hours. And that's a thing so quick that I know where the error is at when it does that. I just know to like take that out. And you could delete it, or you could hashtag it to keep it in your code, like if you wanted to use it again and work with it. But the easiest thing to do is just add a hashtag, and then it doesn't read that line anymore. And so yeah, tons of really good stuff, Evan. Yeah. Of course. I'm gonna message you this right back. So one moment right here, we'll go to the main screen. This is your code. This is this is your code. You asked me to work on it, and there's your code right there. Yeah, thank you, Evan. That's what you can do during office hours. You can come by, and I don't think anyone's gonna like copy that, because this would be crazy. You sat down and tried to like, let me pause the screen and type this all out. You'd get more errors. Hey, if you got the patience to type out all that, I don't have the patience. I'll go ask ChatGPT to do it. There's so many errors that can occur. It'd be just mind-numbing. That's why people don't like stats. It's not how you do stats. You use imagination. You figure out new things. You do cool things. So you got this, Evan. We're going to have class coming up here soon. I just messaged you the code back on Discord. So great job. We'll have class here soon. Until then, bye for now, everyone. Bye.
Hey Brian, what's up?
Hey Adam.
Oh, what's this?
Adam, what are you doing? Adam!
No!